Welcome to another special edition of the Low Budget Show with Damon Millard. That's me. What makes today so special? Today is our Thanksgiving episode. Yeah!
What that means is nothing. I don't have anything special planned. It's just close to Thanksgiving, and I'll talk a little bit about Thanksgiving. Yes!
Yes, we did it. All right. So, let's see. Okay, so Thanksgiving is going to be crazy for me because New York City every year holds the biggest parade. It's the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and it's going to be madness, especially for me here because they blow the balloons up right here on West 77th Street, which is right out in front of this building, and therefore I'm not going to be able to get in here probably. I know that because down in my lobby the doorman was handing out this, like, do you see all that information on there? I'll just paraphrase it for you. Basically, don't park anywhere near here. You can't park anywhere from Columbus Circle. You can't park anywhere from Columbus Circle, which is 59th Street, all the way to 82nd Street, right? And we're at 77th here. And also, they're going to be blowing up the balloons right here, you know, which means I'm going to have, it's going to be almost impossible to get into my place. They think the neighborhood association gave me this piece of paper, though, that I'm supposed to show to the police that is just going to let me walk down this block. I don't see how that's going to happen. It's going to be so packed around here. I don't know. It's just going to be mania. I don't even understand why...
Why are parades such a popular thing? I mean, I don't know. I've never enjoyed a parade. Have you? Write to me. Let me know if you've ever enjoyed a parade. Basically...
I mean, this is a huge deal, though. I mean, this is a big deal. My experience with parades have always been from my small hometown, you know.
Where it's just like the floats aren't actual floats. They're just like pickup trucks, you know, and the celebrities are like... subcontractors and construction workers with, like, on the side of the truck it'll just say like Dave Fish Roofing or something, you know. So maybe it's just me, maybe that's why I've never enjoyed a parade.
I don't know, let me know, maybe this one will be better, but I'm not looking forward to all the hassle that it's gonna bring, you know. It's just, what's so special about it? I guess you know, I do want to see, I'm not going to lie, I do want to see the Woody Woodpecker balloon. Do they still have that? I hope they still have that, you know. I hope they didn't replace it with all this new fangled bullshit, you know. Do they still have Woody Woodpecker? I want to see Woody Woodpecker. I'd definitely like to check out SpongeBob. So they'll be blowing those up on Wednesday right here across from the Natural History Museum. And I'm hoping to get a look at that, although it's going to be mania, and I'm not sure I'm going to make my way to my apartment. I might be homeless because other Midwesterners want to see balloons. So if you see me on the street, maybe give me a Hot Pocket, you know. maybe I'll get on the train and do the
train begging for change song. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry about the interruption. I've been looking for a job.
Who knows? So that's the holiday thing. I don't know. The holidays for me in general are a sad time. I don't know what it is. I don't love them at all. I don't know what it is. Maybe I've just never had any fun. I'm not looking forward to it. I am going to be selling some Christmas trees this year, though.
Yeah, that's a real thing. I found a part-time job which kind of fits in with, you know, to allow me to still continue to do comedy and stuff. I found this job where I just sell overpriced Christmas trees to Manhattanites, and hopefully they'll tip me and stuff. That would be cool.
So yeah, little Christmas time part-time job. I actually worked for Macy's once during the Christmas season. I used to stock the shelves and stuff. So yeah, so this is Macy's way of paying me back. Oh yeah, you're gonna show up late every single day?
Fuck you, now you can't go into your apartment. So yeah, the Christmas tree thing I gotta stand outside for like 10 hours at a clip. I don't know. I'm not good when it comes to like cold weather. You know, I'm not. I just don't. Man, I'm not looking forward to it. But I need the money, and I mean, how hard is it to sell a tree?
Hey, do you want a tree? Oh, you're Jewish? Never mind. Hey, do you want a tree? Oh, you're Jewish? Never mind. Hey, you want a tree? Oh, you're Jewish. Do you see do you see what I'm getting at? I'm on the Upper West Side. Probably gonna be hard to sell trees around here. Maybe not though. I might get some menorahs in there. I don't know. I'll make some menorahs out of trees. It'll be cool. So there's that. I don't know. I've had some terrible jobs in my day. You know what I mean? I just got out of the news business, which was fun. I don't know. People ask me like why I wanted to give it up so much, and I don't know if I have the time on this web show to talk about it. But I can tell you the time. I've had so many terrible jobs in my lifetime. I've never had a good job. I can tell you that. Let's see. Okay, so for news, here's what happened, man, and you guys got to stick with me.
Because this is a terrible, this is a terrible story if I'm going to tell this story.
What do you guys think? Should I? Cool. All right, I will.
Damn it. All right. I'm working in news, and for a long time, I loved it. I have TV background. That's what it is. I love making videos
and stuff like that, and I really loved it for a long time. You know, I had all this great equipment at my disposal because I worked for Fox.
I was already not feeling news. I feel like this story's getting long already. Alright, I wasn't feeling news.
Anyway, because comedy was awesome and news was a job, you know what I mean? And so every day I'd get stuck at Fox doing these live shots for the stupidest things all night, you know, when I'm supposed to be out doing stand-up, which I loved. And so then here's the story that I hate telling, but it's
the moment that I knew I couldn't work in news anymore.
This 5-year-old girl was in Greenfield, Wisconsin. She was walking across the street in the crosswalk, just a few steps in front of her mom. And
then this older woman pulls up to where she's supposed to stop at a stop sign, but she just rolls through it, and she's so old she just doesn't see the little girl.
The little girl, who's like 5, gets caught under the truck, and the old lady doesn't know it, and she just drives on for like thousands of feet, you know what I mean, before they get her to stop, and the little girl dies, right? And to be honest, that wasn't that shocking to me. I mean, working in news for as long as I had, I've seen a ton of dead bodies, you know, and I had never seen a true dead body. I mean, I've seen dead bodies in coffins and stuff
before going into news, but I'd never seen a like dead body, like at the place where it was killed or whatever, until I got into news, and then I saw hundreds.
Okay, so this little girl is now dead, and my story, the story that we're assigned to, is to go there and, you know, shoot this video, and they want us to track down the family. You know, they want us to get that sad soundbite, you know, the one where the mom's crying and Or, you know, the dad's hugging the mom while she's like, oh,
I mean, that's what the producers at TV stations want. They want that. That's the stuff that makes you tune in.
They want to be able to put that soundbite in the tease commercial, that 20-second tease commercial. Oh, my baby. Tune in tonight at 9 when Brad Hicks will tell you the news. That's what they want to. That's what they need. They need that. So they want you to go get that. That's how they get their viewers. The more viewers, the more money they can charge for commercials. The more money they can charge for commercials, fat ass Chuck can take trips to New York City. You know, that's how it works, man. So, yeah, I'm burning a lot of bridges. I don't give a fuck. And I'm also digressing. You guys want to just hear the story, right? Okay.
So, this little 5-year-old girl is dead.
And everybody at the station is calling us, right? They're trying to, you know, back at the station, the producers, they're doing all the fucking research and legwork, you know? They're like, oh, try this address. We believe this is where the parents live. So me and Bob, that was my reporter that day, we drive to this house and that house and try this house and try this house, you know? And this is after I've already shot the crime scene or accident scene. The only thing that made this story worth covering
is that it was a 5-year-old girl, you know, and that people were going to tune in to watch that shit. So don't think you're not at fault too.
Wow, I don't know where this episode has gone to. Holy shit. Okay, so end of the day, we got nothing. We don't have any sound bites except from the mayor of Greenfield, and you know, and that's just an official sound. We want the good juicy sound bite sound,
right? We want the tears.
So here it is. It's 10 minutes to 5 o'clock. We go live at 5. I'm in a live truck editing on the computer. I'm editing the story. The story is going to be about 2 minutes long, right? We're about to go live on air in 7 minutes, right? It takes usually, for a good story, you need at least a half hour to chop this story together. Okay, here I am. I have 7 minutes to do a 2 minute. I'm practically doing it in real time. You know what I mean? And I'm chopping it together. And then all of a sudden, this lady shows up on the scene, and she's crying, and she's got balloons and flowers, and she's going over to this
makeshift memorial that has sprung up near on the side of the road by this tree near where the accident happened, and she's crying.
And out of the window of the live truck, I see Channel 4, TMJ4, their live truck doors open, like this, right? This woman reporter, I don't remember her name, I would call her out if I did, some blonde chick, right? In high heels and a skirt, jumps out of this live truck, holding a microphone, and she is just speeding. She is running as fast as she can across the street, you know, because she's trying to get this lady who's crying. She's gonna go get that soundbite. I'm too busy editing what we need to go live on air to even move. And my reporter Bob is like, let's go, we need this, you know?
And I'm like, I'm not going. I'm not doing it. I am not doing it. Like, I'm just so tired of this, you know? I don't want to exploit everybody's tears anymore. I just want to go home, man. I don't want to work in news anymore. And, I mean, that's it. Dude, that's the end of the story. I realized that news is evil. I hate exploiting people's pain for a fucking shitty paycheck at a place where I hate the people I work with. For the most part, I did. A lot of reporters were really cool with me, but I hated everybody in management because they were just fucking, they were sleazebags, man. All of them. You're all sleazebags.
And that was a day that I decided I couldn't work in news anymore. Now, did I quit immediately? No, I didn't. I still had to continue for a while. But when the opportunity came to get out of news, when things seemed to line up and I thought I could just jump right into doing full-time comedy, which didn't turn out to be 100% the case, I did. I left TV news, and I miss it, sort of, but I can't do that anymore, you know? I can't. I mean, there was times where, like, I'd be interviewing somebody who just lost a loved one, you know, and behind the camera, I'm zoning out. Like, I've been so desensitized, I'm zoning out. I'm just thinking about what kind of sandwich I'm going to get at Jimmy John's, right? Like, the news is a fucked up business, man.
It is. And here, I know I just told this fucked up story, but I've also tried to get back in a couple times since I've been in New York. I've tried to do some freelance work for news, and it hasn't panned out. But, I mean, that's where I'm at in my life. I'm broke. So I need something, you know? And, I don't know. So, like, did it really scar me? Or, you know, do my needs outweigh my morals? You know, like, that's where I'm at. I don't fucking know.
Speaking about outweighing morals, I was up for a job shooting and editing porno. That's a true thing. Yeah, all right. I'll tell this story, and then we'll go on to Damon's Helpful Hints, and then we'll go see... on today's show also is Jake Kornely. I forgot to mention that early on. Yeah, so...
let me say this.
I found an ad for a videographer to shoot 2 scenes a week and edit from home on Adobe Premiere. And although I don't know Adobe Premiere per se.
I mean, I'm sure I could have just watched some tutorials and figured it out. I mean, I've been editing for over a decade, like a decade and a half. I'm sure I could have picked up on it enough to get through, you know. So I see this ad, and
I respond to it, and I send my resume and my cover letter, and I get a hit back, and the guy's like, "Oh, cool! You sound like you might be really good for this job." And then he gave me this website to, like, I think it was www.assimilation.com or something. No, it was Asylum. ASSYLUM.com. I'm almost positive about that. And so he's like, check this out. Make sure you'd be comfortable shooting stuff this graphic.
So I go to this website, right? And it's a little dark. It's like bondage porn and stuff, and it's all about butt sex. Like, I don't think there was any other kind of sex on there. You know, like, you know, when you watch like a regular porno, it's like, you know, they cover the bases. You know, you get some fellatio, you know, you even get some missionary, but this one was a little, it was dark. It was like everybody was in bondage and shit, and like they were getting reamed up the butt.
And, you know, so I emailed him back. I was like, you know, I could probably handle this, you know, and I was like, you know, I pride myself on being able to do stuff that, you know, not your average guy would want to do, because there was a time I wanted to shoot video in Iraq. I wanted to go to the Iraq War and you know, as a journalist and cover that. And so I was like, yeah, no problem, dude, I could do that. And so he was like, great, I'll get back with you.
And so okay, so then I didn't hear from him for 3 or 4 days. I go back on the website.
I go a little deeper down on the page, and I click this other video clip. I probably should have watched this one first, right? Because there's this girl, and she's just getting taken it. She's like getting gangbanged, right? She's in like this leather mask, and she's with the zipper over the mouth, and she's getting gangbanged in the butt, like one dude after another, after another, after another, and and then they come on this girl, and then they all start kicking dirt on her. She's and she's wearing this pig nose, and they're just kicking dirt on her, and it's like, I was like, wow, maybe I can't work in the porno industry?
I don't know, man. I don't know. It was a rough one today. That's the Thanksgiving a holiday episode.
I'll tell you what. Do me a favor, guys. Send me some feedback. Send me your stories. I'd love to read them on the show. Here's my information. It's Damon S. Millard at yahoo.com. Also, you can tweet at me at laughingcock. I would like to set up a low-budget show Twitter account, but I can't figure out how to do it. As soon as I can, though, I'll change it. At laughingcock, Damon S. Millard at yahoo.com. Send me any stories. You guys got anybody work in the news before? Let me know if you've had any similar situations like that. Coming up on the show is Jake Kornely. And also, right now, we're going to go to a little segment I like to call Damon's Helpful Hints.
Hey, everybody. Today on Damon's Helpful Hints, we're talking life hacks. I have a few secrets and tricks and tips that'll help you in your daily routine and have you living like a rock star. Okay, tip number 1. You want your favorite beverage, right? That's warm as fuck.
Life hack!
You just add some ice. That's cold as a bitch. Every other weekend, you gotta go pick up your kids from your baby mamas. You've been losing a lot of hair lately, and you don't want her to know how bald you've become.
Life hack!
Just throw on a hat, motherfucker! Here's a bonus tip. Wear it backwards so her new boyfriend knows you're tough. You know, like when you're having a bad day and you kind of just want to hear your mommy's voice. But you live here and she lives right here.
Life hack!
Use a telephone. These things are great for communicating across long distances. I just called because I missed you. And do you miss me, Mom?
I don't, Dink. I really don't.
You're running super late for work. Plus your eyes are red because you're all hung over.
Life hack!
Just throw on these glasses and tell them you're late because you just found out your mom has cancer. If your pants are all loose and they keep falling down, there's no need to throw them out.
Life hack!
Get yourself a belt. Not only will it keep your pants up, it'll come in very handy if you ever have. This part of the show is brought to you by Non-Menthol Newports. Non-Menthol Newports, the cigarettes your dad went out to buy.
What's up, Low Budget Show? Welcome back. Joining me now for the interview segment is Mr. Jake Kornely. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Nice to see you. What's going on with you?
I don't know, I'm just trying to keep busy.
Yeah, well, you're a busy dude.
Jake Kornely's a Milwaukee stand-up comedian, but you dabble in other things, right?
Yeah, I've got a couple other shows that are late night style shows.
They're neat. I've seen them. One of them's completely live, right?
Yep, one of them's completely live, and then the other one's just like a YouTube show.
Okay, yeah, I know what those are.
Yeah.
But the live one, what's that like, and what goes into that?
Well, that's the Goodnight Milwaukee show, and it we kind of just I wanted to do a show like Conan O'Brien's show, I wanted to do that live, and so I co-host it with Tyler Menz, and we have a bunch of other Milwaukee comedians write it and produce it and act in it, and every episode we have different characters that are just different just weird characters. We had Eric Kokonis do a Hodag character for one episode, and we had a gay duck when the Duck Dynasty thing, so they're just weird characters that we come up with. We had Gary as Bernie Brewer from the Brewer
Oh yeah, the guy who slides down the slide if the Brewers hit a home run at Miller Park.
Yeah, so Gary was that character for an interview.
That must have been neat because then you get to try to imagine what a 3D character of Bernie the Brewer is, right?
Exactly.
Give him a background and stuff.
Yeah, that show is fun because we do stand up for the monologue, and then we do and then the rest of it is kind of either sketch or improv. So we get to do different styles of comedy in the one show.
And then you have something called the Jake Kornely Show, right?
Yeah, and it's almost the same show, but it's just like a real version of it.
It's still a talk show, but like I do stand up in the beginning, and then I have a guest who does stand up, and then I interview the guests.
Have you always liked late night shows and stuff?
Yeah, I'm just realizing like now, like when you like think about like who are your like real influences and stuff, and I think like
Conan O'Brien is like a big one.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Yeah. I remember like just being like a little kid, like trying to stay up late enough to like watch his show, and then like they would have like a crazy character, or like the first death segment, like I would just be like crying laughing, and then I have to fall asleep.
Some of those skits and
Yeah.
sketches too are just great. Like in the year 2000.
yeah. It's just like and I love how it was just like they wanted to do like the dumbest idea and then see how far they could just like stretch it out.
Yeah,
That, like,
people are comfortable with it because they get it. They understand it.
they know it starts with a monologue, and they know there's gonna be guests. And
You have two hosts, but the storyline that you guys created, which is it's
Yeah.
kind of compelling because it's neat.
we started out with like a storyline that we kind of like broke away from at this.
Oh, you
point.
don't use that anymore?
Yeah.
Originally, like we were gonna have we were like the descendants of like the founders of Milwaukee, and then we'd be like kind of like roaring between each other. But then that kind of like was too hard to like keep going for like multiple shows.
We thought we had to explain why there were two hosts, as if like if.
Yeah, I guess you really don't.
Yeah,
right?
like
Tune in; it's already there.
Yeah,
catch up, guys.
Yeah, the audience doesn't need to know. Like they don't care.
Right. You also do a lot of. You also do just like other shows, like you produce comedy show.
Right.
And you run an open mic every single Monday.
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep all that going and write material and practice it and develop?
Well, the thing about like for me, like the more I do it, the easier I like it. Just everything else becomes easier.
Yeah.
So then if the more stand up I do, the more I want to write, because then I can figure out like, this bit needs to be better, or I need to write a second part to it, and like so the more I work on it, like the easier the work becomes.
Yeah, I get that. It's like for me right now, I probably have less on my plate than I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I had my full-time job, which is always more than 40 hours.
Right.
I was doing all the Cast of Killers stuff. I was still writing and performing every single night, and it just seemed normal. And now I have all this extra time on my hands where I seem lazy. I feel like I'm doing less. I have so much more time to work on my act, and I feel like I work on it less.
Right.
It takes a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was weird too, because like when I started getting like
I would talk to like a local like newspaper like Shepherd Express or something, and be like, oh, I have a show coming up, and they would like interview me, and then like, oh, now I have an interview in a paper. That's weird now, like, because I was just trying to like advertise my show, and now like there's an advertisement for myself.
You ever get recognized for stuff you've done?
Not really. Like, it's just rare, because also when you do comedy in Milwaukee, like you're so often it's just like in front of 5 people.
Yeah, it's true. He's being honest.
So like
maybe one of those 5 people will recognize me like once in a while, but not really.
Right.
Like, what are your roots in stand-up? Like, how did you first get the idea that you wanted to do stand-up? And then how long after that you were, like, bitten and you were like, oh, I'm doing it every day now?
I knew Gary before I started doing comedy. Like, I would go to shows and, like punk rock shows, and I knew Gary from that. And then, so I started talking to him about, like, stand-up, because I was actually at like a party, and like he started like doing like these like Greg Giraldo bits, and like, but he was doing them like word for word, and and he like obviously like knew like every word to like these bits, and I was like, so I started talking to him about comedy, and then he did an open mic at Rounding Third one time, and he was telling me about how great it was and how much fun it was.
And then it was basically like oh well, if Gary can do it, like I, like not that I
Right.
thought it was like funny, but like oh, someone I know like found an open mic and just did it.
Yeah.
Like,
There's no secret to stand up. Once you get up there, I think Jason Hillman has a joke from way back where he's like, any asshole can do it. And he's like, oh, I'm an asshole.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like,
And before that, I mean, I had thought about trying it, and I knew there was an open mic at Comedy Cafe, but like I was too intimidated to try that.
Right.
But then I found out that there was an open mic at Art Bar, which was like at the time just a couple blocks away from where I lived.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I can go there and try doing jokes, and I was really bad when I started.
Oh, I don't think anybody wasn't.
You know what
yeah,
I
I
mean?
know, but I remember like just being so terrified and then just like holding onto the mic stand.
Keep me up.
Yeah.
Keep me on my feet.
Like as if I didn't hold on to it, I would just like kind of crumble.
Yeah. No, it feels like that. Certain nights it still feels like that.
After your first time, were you like, oh, I'm doing this again?
Yeah, because after the first time, like I got laughs, and like a couple people like Jason came up to me and he was like, no, that was really good, you should keep doing it. And so like I felt like I didn't feel like, oh, that was amazing,
Right.
but I felt like, oh, this is something that I could like improve upon.
Yeah, that's a good, yeah.
Which is way better than like going up there and like crushing and then like then that feeling of like, yeah, I got this.
I'm always fascinated with people's writing process because I've been at this a few years and it always seems to change and evolve for me.
Yeah.
Like, I always, for like 6 months, I'll write this way and then I'll come up with other things another way. What's kind of your process and what works best for you?
I always have like a notebook on me.
I've mentioned this on this show before where I don't throw stuff away.
Mm-hmm.
I always tuck it away for those writer block moments. You know what I mean? And then that's what I'll write when I just can't come up with something.
Yeah.
And I also, I like to do this thing where I'll get to the end of a joke at a mic, and then I'll just fucking freestyle and just see if I can get my teeth to latch onto another part. And the next thing you know, that ad-lib, you say the exact right thing, and the next day you're just like writing, and you're like, oh, I'm excited about this joke again, and then it feels new.
Yeah.
But like I've been like going for a while with like I can't come up with any new ideas, and so then I'll just I'll do an old bit that like, oh, maybe this will work this time, and then it'll just fail. And I like that feeling of just going up on stage and like doing some stuff like I don't know if it's gonna work, and then it doesn't work, and then you can have that feeling of like, well, okay, I did a bad set and I knew it was not gonna be great, so and then I think you get better as like a performer, just like a live performer that way. Like you just go up there and like you get better as a comedian from like doing well, but I think you even get even better by like failing.
Yeah, you earn points by killing, but you really earn points by falling down.
Yeah.
And all right, cool. And one last thing that just came to my mind: you opened up for Kyle Kinane recently.
Yeah, I did.
That must have been awesome, right?
Oh, that was incredible.
It was at Shank Hall, which is like that might be like the biggest show like I've performed to, like, and it was like sold out, and it was really cool.
And he's just a cool dude anyway, right?
Yeah, he was so nice. I only got to talk to him like a little bit like after the show, but he was really cool, and he wasn't there when I had to go up on stage, and so the whole time I was like, oh, I wonder if he's here like watching me right now.
And then when I got done, I got off stage, and then he was like right there. I was like, oh my god.
Oh, cool.
Because I'm a huge fan of his.
That's sweet. Yeah, and you were like, I'm not waiting for these guys to come get me. You were like, I'm gonna just call and see if they could use an opener.
Right. Yeah.
That's ballsy shit.
Like that. That's what I wanted to do. I was like, oh, I hope no one asked first, and like, I just like emailed the venue.
But there was also like a couple weeks where like, oh, I'm not hearing anything back. It's probably nothing.
Yeah.
And then I did hear back, and I was like, holy shit! Like
that's so awesome.
I'm gonna be the guy. But that's what I'm trying to do now. Like I opened for like last year. I opened for I don't know if you've heard of him, David Huntsberger. He's an LA comedian that he does a podcast with Tig Notaro called Professor Blastoff.
I opened for him, but by just like, oh, I see you're coming to Milwaukee. Like, I could open for you. And then he was like, yeah, sure.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, because I don't know. I guess someone was like, the other day they used this slogan on me. They were like, closed mouths don't get fed, right? And that really kind of works in our business. I mean, if you're not going to knock on doors and be like, hey, I'm available, let me do this.
Like,
In New York, there's a lot of guys who are good enough and should be working constantly, but they're like, oh, I just want someone to see me at an open mic and come get me. And that's just not the way this works.
And I want to like perform all the time.
Like the comedians who like will take a week off or like they'll only do it like once a week. I'm like, that's so bizarre to me.
Oh, I'll just do it one night a week because that's all I need. Like that's not gonna be enough.
Okay. Well, we're running out of battery on this camera over here. So if people want to get a hold of you, they're interested in being part of your show or your mic or anything, how do they do that?
You can find me. My website is jkornely.tumblr.com. I'm on Tumblr, so you can find me there, or Twitter, just at jkornely.
Sweet.
I'm always posting shows. So
great. Jay Kornely, check him out. You got a Twitter name?
Yeah, it's at Jay Kornely.
You probably just said that, and I was listening because my camera died over here. But that's the end of our show. Thanks for joining us. I think their guest on next show is George Washington, so you're going to want to go see that one. It's going to be awesome. All right, thanks for joining me. That's the end of the Low Budget Show. We'll see you next time. Peace!